When John Wayne was the sheriff, you knew, by golly, that the law was there, strong and tall, standing to protect you. He set the standard. And by that standard, one New Mexico sheriff might have more than a little bit of trouble explaining himself to the Duke. Tonight, News 13 investigative reporter Larry Barker is on the trail of the disappearing lawman.
Fair to call this whole thing a bit bizarre, Commissioner?
Yeah, I would say a bit bizarre.
Some call it bizarre. Others describe what's happened here as outlandish, even preposterous. Welcome to Sierra County. As blunders go, this one is a real whopper.
At the center of the firestorm is Sierra County's top lawman, Sheriff Joe Baca. Elected in 2010, the sheriff is responsible for keeping the peace in this rugged 4,000 square mile territory that includes Truth or Consequences and Elephant Butte. If something is amiss in Sierra County, the go-to guy in these parts is Sheriff Joe Baca.
I'm here to see Sheriff Baca.
Just have a seat. If you'd like to wait, we'll be back around June 1st.
You heard right. The sheriff is gone and won't be back until sometime this summer. Walter Armijo chairs the Sierra County Commission. In December, he heard the rumors like everybody else, so the commissioner placed a call to the sheriff.
I asked him, I said, it would have been nice if you'd have notified either the commission, management, or administration that you're going to be gone for this period of time, either email, cell phone, pigeon, I don't care. He said, well, I don't have to tell anybody anywhere where I'm going. And that's the last time I've heard from him.
So where in the world is Joe Baca? Welcome to the Ozarks. Joe Baca may be Sierra County's top lawman, but today the 39-year-old New Mexico sheriff makes his home here in Pulaski County, Missouri. And even though he's 1,000 miles away from his elected office, he still collects his sheriff's salary courtesy of New Mexico taxpayers.
Late last year, the sheriff, his wife, and kids packed up all their belongings and moved out of their rural Sierra County home for points east. No farewells and no going away parties. He didn't tell the county commission, and even some deputies say they were surprised to hear the sheriff had ridden out of town without so much as a goodbye. Why leave? Well, he wanted to go to school. You see, here in T.R.C. they call him sheriff, but elsewhere they call him sir. Joe Baca is not only the sheriff, he's also a first lieutenant in the New Mexico National Guard. With an eye towards moving up in the ranks, the Guard sent its promising lieutenant to an out-of-state leadership training class called the Captain's Career Course.
So he set off for 6 months of intensive study here at Fort Leonard Wood, a sprawling Army base in central Missouri. It's a sweet deal for the aspiring guardsman. The military pays all his expenses, moving, travel, housing, meals, per diem, and his guard pay to boot.
By the time June rolls around, the military will have paid Lieutenant Baca an estimated $44,000 to complete his class in Missouri. At the same time, Sheriff Baca will have collected $35,000 in salary and benefits to keep the peace in Sierra County.
You see, long-distance law enforcement can be very tricky. Say, for example, there's a SWAT situation here at Elephant Butte. So how will the sheriff mobilize his deputies and restore the peace? Skype? Email? Cell phone?
If the sheriff is in Missouri, who's running the show?
His undersheriff, Mr. Apodaca.
So how's that work?
How's it work? I guess he picks up the phone every morning and calls him and asks him what he wants to do. I don't know. It's not fair to the citizens of Sierra County. To me, if you're an elected official, your duties and responsibility is to the taxpayers to be at your home base.
Officially, the National Guard ordered Baca to active duty so he could attend the Missouri class. However, his enrollment was voluntary. He needed the class to be promoted in the Guard. The issue here is not that Joe Baca went to Fort Leonard Wood for 6 months. What is important, however, is that the sheriff vacated his elected position while pocketing his county pay. Attorney General Gary King says The law is clear.
If you're an elected public official and you're absent from your office for more than 30 days, you're deemed to have abandoned the office. But then there is an exception for military service, which I think is appropriate. And that law would say that you wouldn't continue to get paid for your office while you're on military service, but when you come back, that you would be reinstated.
So what does the sheriff have to say? Well, last week we traveled to the Midwest and met Joe Baca at a local diner in St. Robert, Missouri.
Would you acknowledge, Sheriff, you made a mistake on this one?
Absolutely. I have no issue with sending them the money back.
The sheriff admits he used bad judgment by accepting his county pay while in Missouri. But Baca says before he left, he got advice from the Sierra County attorney.
And I asked him, what do I need to do? I'm going to Captain's Career Course for 6 months, and I need to know what I need to do.
However, the sheriff's recollection of that conversation may be a bit hazy. You see, according to emails obtained by News 13, when Sheriff Baca spoke with the county attorney, he said he would only be gone 1 month. Apparently, the sheriff forgot he was moving out of state for half a year.
And the county attorney isn't the only one left in the dark. County commissioners also didn't know he was saying adios for 6 months.
The county commission aren't my per se boss. I did let citizens know.
It would be like me if I was to go ahead and just take off from here for 6 months or go somewhere and just, wouldn't tell anybody where it's at. That wouldn't be fair to the citizens. I think I'd probably resign before I do that.
Sheriff, what do you plan to do at this point on about the money?
What I'm going to do is I'm going to draft up a letter and I'm going to send it to the county commission saying that they need to suspend my pay and that if I owe them any money, that I will pay that money back.
I think that it's important that the county commission and Sierra County understand that the law is clear on that and that they should not be paying salary for the sheriff while he's doing his military service.
They are welcome to suspend my salary until I return. When I get back June the 5th, I am the sheriff.
Larry Barker, KRQE News 13.
And last Friday, Sheriff Baca did ask Sierra County to suspend his salary. He also pledged to repay money that he's already received. Yesterday, the county commission appointed a temporary sheriff to run the department in Baca's absence.